All right, well, we're gonna get rolling. We're gonna start lying down on our backs. Feet in standing, drop your knees together. Hands fly open, lengthen through the head, and take a nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Deep breath in. Blow it out and soften into your mat. Just allowing yourself to find the space where you can feel the body completely let go. No holding, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just allowing the body to be what it is. And today, as we work, know that anything that comes up is allowed to be there. There's no reason to have to engage with it. Just notice that it's there and allow it to move through like the passing storm clouds. So you'll need a strap today, for sure. And breathing in and out. And feel yourself rooting down to your mat, even though things around you are moving and swirling. And feel the back soften against the mat. Notice your feet. Can you feel your feet connecting to the mat? And the knees softening together. And feeling the insides of your legs just gently resting against one another. And by allowing this complete and total softening to happen, it gives your body space to surrender. And as you give your body space to surrender, it gives the thinking mind the opportunity to surrender as well. Surrender to the softening. Surrender to the anchoring down. And then notice how, as you're surrendering to the mat, how the pelvic girdle, so this whole area of the body, your hips, around the front where your pelvis is, the sit bones, the hamstring attachments, all of that has the ability to just soften in, dropping down. And in this posture, no pelvic floor, no core engagement, nothing. Nothing has to be engaged. Our full support comes from the earth. And as you move up the spine, notice how the spine flattens against the back of the floor and does not have to do anything to be flat. It just is. And the shoulder blades and the rib cage soften down. And what does it feel like to just tip the chin slightly? Giving your neck space. Lengthening through the crown. feeling a lengthening in the spine. And as you do that, the shoulders roll back, allowing any weight of the world, weight of your world, softening, pouring down into the earth. No longer carrying that. And then notice that even though you're still present here, that you can allow the face to soften, as if it's going to just melt away. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Allowing full surrender to the mat. Taking the right hand and placing it between the belly button and the rib cage, and the left hand between the pubic bone and the belly button. So we're going really low today. And notice that even with this being the only change that you make, what movement is happening with the breath? There may be a lot of movement, there may be no movement. Just notice. Sometimes as we're learning to breathe into the belly, we become acutely aware of that we breathe in the top half of our lungs. And breath is our life force. This is our chi, our energy. What brings us life is the breath. So as we become acutely aware of how that is moving in and out of our body, let's slow the breath down. Whatever you're doing, exhale all the way. And then beginning with a deep inhale, inhaling to the bottom of the lungs, all the way to that bottom hand. And then exhale it out. Let this be about inviting the belly into the breath. So inhaling and exhaling. And notice how this might change everything we were taught as children. Stand up straight, hold in your belly, suck in your stomach. Let all of those teachings fly out the window. Let the wind take them and blow them away. And give yourself permission to breathe clear down to that bottom hand, softening the belly. The core is not needed right now because our back body is fully supported. We're deeply supported all the way from our tail to our crown. Sometimes when we begin breathing deep like this and you haven't ever done it, it'll make you dizzy. It'll make you want to yawn. That's okay. Do that. Do that. Be mindful of it. So on the next exhale, we're going to bring our feet to standing hip distance apart. And we're going to begin to invite into this movement the belly button to the spine. So as you inhale, soften the belly, fill that belly, feel it lift. And then as you exhale, bring that belly button down the spine. And as it drops all the way down to the spine, you're going to feel a slight tip in the pelvic bowl. So let this organically follow the breath. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And notice how this organic rocking in the body is always present, except we're just unaware that it's happening. So as we bring awareness to this conscious breathing, the filling and the emptying of the lungs, the expansion and the contraction of the belly, let's deepen it one more level. We're going to inhale, expand that belly. And as the exhale happens, exhale, drop that belly button to the spine and then lift it up. And notice, now it sounds like a big movement, but it's really very small. Notice how naturally the tailbone, which is this bone right here, slides underneath you. And it draws that entire pelvic girdle down. So this becomes two parts. We inhale, and then the exhale is belly button down and up with a slight sliding of the tailbone. And you'll feel your low back begin to press into the floor naturally without any thought process happening. It's organic, it's following the breath. And at this point, we're going to keep the breath, but hold the contraction of the belly button and the lift and the sliding of the pelvic floor. And notice how the breathing comes to the middle and upper part of the lungs. Even though you can still expand the belly, as we're supported, it just changes the depth. But play with it. Feel the contraction. Your glutes are soft. The core is stable. This is our center. Now notice how that when you're strong in the center, you can breathe all the way down. Still holding. There's no rocking happening because you're anchored into the earth. And the core is supported, and the diaphragm, the muscle under the rib cage, is doing the breathing for you, the expansion and the release. So from this holding, softly lift in the pelvic floor, do a Hatha Kegel, gentle, almost as if it's like, I'm gonna pick this up. It's very fragile and I have to be very gentle. And then soften into the hold. Keep breathing. 3 more breaths. And then release it all out. Notice how the body softens. Notice where else in your body you feel a shift and a change. By holding completely in the center, I feel my shoulders begin to soften. My knees begin to unwind a little bit. And then bring it in again. Inhale through your belly all the way up. Lift it up. Exhale, drop that belly button down. Bring it up. Slide that tailbone down. Half of the pelvic floor lift. Release your hands. Bring the hands behind your head and let your elbows soften open. And you're going to begin to feel an opening through the chest. Staying with the pelvic floor. We're not releasing it. We're still holding it and we're still breathing. So what happens is we're going to hold this center and do a little bit of pelvic floor core work. And we're going to begin to really work on strengthening the center of the body. So as the arms soften to the floor, let those elbows go open wide. You might feel it across your chest here, the high chest. That would be where the pectoralis muscle groups are. Still breathing. Now release it all out. Take a nice deep inhale to the belly. We're going to add to this. We're going to exhale all the way down, belly button down. Lifting up. Tailbone slides. Half gentle lift in the pelvic floor. Left knee comes up. Only the left knee. Still breathing. Exhale it down. Now we're not releasing anything in the middle. We're still breathing into the lungs. Exhaling down. So that at this point, the belly button is still pressing down to the floor, lifting up to the heart. The tailbone is sliding down on the floor. So you have a little bit of a tip in the pelvic bowl as we lift the knees. So what happens is when our legs are bent and the core is engaged, this invites the deep core stabilizer, spine stabilizer into the program here, called the psoas. The psoas is the muscle of the soul. It's deep in our gut. There is a school of thought that this is where our gut feelings reside. The only bidirectional muscle in the body, so it works a lot. It's a big, strong muscle. It lifts our knees up as well as stoops us over. So at this point, we've not taken a big giant breath, but we're still breathing fully into our lungs. We're going to do 3 more each side. Gently lifting in the pelvic floor. If you find that you begin to cinch down in that kegel, like you're hanging on for dear life, soften it out a little bit. For women and men alike, when you reach the point in life where it's like, oh wow, I have to go to the bathroom right this second, this actually helps with that control. It's not about cinching down completely, it's about softening. Nice deep breath in, let everything go. Breathe it in. Notice how it feels different as you breathe all the way in and then exhale down, inviting everything back in. So what we're doing here is we're creating a cellular memory of what it feels like to drop that belly button down, lift it up, slide that tailbone down, soft lift in the pelvic floor. So now as we lift our left leg, we're going to lift our shoulders off the mat and let our right elbow cross over. And we're just going to hold it. Keep breathing. So we're holding the posture, not the breath. And then we're going to come back, shoulders down, leg down. And then we're going to bring the right knee up, shoulders up, left elbow over. So the static hold will begin to build heat. It's very slow. It feels gentle. Coming back, setting down, left leg up, shoulders up, right elbow over. Tomorrow you will all be sending me love and light. You'll feel it in your transverse, might feel a little bit in your lats. You'll definitely feel it in the core, which is good. Down and back. Right leg up. So as you're switching and changing, did you let go of that core? I did. So just re-engage it. Bring that belly button to the spine, lift it up, slide that tailbone down, slight lift through the pelvic floor, release it down. Everything down, big inhale, let everything go. Let it out, belly button down, lift it up, feel that tailbone slide, slight lift in the pelvic floor. And now we're going to move with it. So we're going to inhale, lift up, meet the left knee, come back and down, other side. So I'm not ever coming out of my shoulders. I'm staying up in my shoulders. Make sure you're not pulling on your head. This is not about lengthening the neck. This is just about supporting, finding your breath. If you've let go, as you come all the way back, this is not a permission to let go of that core center. It's a permission to soften back, but still working with that belly button to the floor and lifting up. That's where the work is. I'm beginning to even feel it in my upper rectus abdominis, which is just under the ribs. Still breathing, staying with it. One of my yoga teachers calls this weeding the garden. It's not something you might necessarily love doing, but it's something that makes the garden beautiful. So in the event you want to know where we are, we've got 4 more each side. So let it continue to be a journey versus a race. Oh, nice. 2 more. Here we go. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So things are shifting and changing as we strengthen the center of our body. This has been the most interesting part of my journey of healing, has been that strength is necessary. Let's do 1 more because I've lost count. I think this is just for good measure. All right. And down, release everything down. Hands come back to the belly, take a deep breath in. And let it all the way out. We've got 1 more, so don't lengthen the legs yet. Deep breath in. Belly button down. Lift it up. Roll it in. Lengthen the legs straight up. So we're doing everything lying on our back that can happen standing up or sitting in Dandasana. So working through our heels. No strap is necessary here. Belly buttons to the floor, slight lift through the pelvic floor. Lift up out of your shoulders. So if you have the space to do this without putting your hands behind your head, that's awesome. Yeah, up on your shoulders. So we're just hanging out here. We've got everything kind of contracted. I've just kind of been letting my hands be behind my legs. Lengthening through your heels, not pointing your toes. So soften your head back, give your neck a break, keep everything contracted in the belly button and the spine. Notice how by coming down, it lengthens from the hamstring attachments, which are right here deep in your bottom, and lift back up off your shoulders. If you need to use your hands behind your head, you can. But if you don't need to, right? And soften back. Now let's add the hands into it. Lifting up, right hand to the left toe, down, left hand to the right toe, back, and all the way down. And then up, right hand to the left toe, over, left hand to the right, whatever, other side. Coming back and down. Re-engaging that core. So belly button down and up, sliding the tailbone, soft lift in the pelvic floor. If it goes on vacation, Mine sometimes is like, what are you doing to me? I need a break. And so I have to remind it to come back in and support. 3 more, we're almost there. Blow it out. You can give it noise. Noise is allowed. 2 more. Yep, and I won't do more than 2 more, I promise. And last one, lift it up, reach it over, let it down, bring those knees into your chest. Let everything go. Open those knees wide like you're in child's pose. So this is supine child. So when you let your toes kind of be together and you open your knees and you draw those knees back into your armpits, this is just child's pose lying on our back. It's all it is. And for whatever reason, in my mind, it's easier to do because that's just where I'm at. But in my mind, this is okay. Beautiful. Bring those knees back to center. Lengthen through the left leg. Heel is out. So you're pressing to your heel. Knee is in of the right knee. And it's not touching the floor. Unless you need to drop it to the floor, then you can. So we're in this beautiful strong hold. Belly buttons to the floor. So here we go. Belly buttons to the floor, lifting up. Tailbone sliding down, soft. So we're going to exhale, draw it in, switch it out. 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 There you go. This is the rhythm. Remembering, no cinching down in that pelvic floor. That pelvic floor, it's an interesting muscle because it connects our pelvis at 3 points. It's kind of like a kite. That's more than 3 points, but it kind of looks like a triangle. Breathing into it. Halfway there. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good job. Bring it in. Set those feet down. Open the knees wide into supine goddess. Oh, my mat's walking all over the place. So, what happens in supine goddess, if you let go of everything, we have a tendency to get this arch in our back, like this. You just slide your hands underneath it. Have the sense of still supporting the body by pressing down through that back. And you'll notice how when you do that, you just get this natural lifting through the belly button going up to the spine. Open the arms wide into T position and then bend the elbows into cactus. And this is just a really beautiful opening through the front body. And allow the breath to travel all the way down to your pubic bone. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Nicely done. So, releasing those legs up, finding your strap, hooking your left foot in to your strap. Nope, I lied. Let's hook our right foot in. Changed my mind. Hook your right foot into the strap. Lengthen through that left leg if you have the space. Sometimes we don't have the space and you can bring your foot to standing. But the work really is in this right leg. So lengthen through your heel. Now take a look at what's happening in the knee. My knee is rolling medial to the center of my body. So I'm going to engage my quad and imagine that my knee is rolling out to my little toe. It's in a very deep energetic movement, and it personally kills me to do it. So I feel it all the way down my hamstrings, deep in my hips, breathing into this. So this is not about whether you can touch your toe or not. This is about the energy of how the leg lengthens and how the hip joint sits into the pelvis. And you can feel with that slight energetic movement how that hip joint rolls in the pelvis. It's not a big movement, very small, breathing into it. Now, belly button down, up, and bring this leg across the body. When you meet resistance, hang out there. It might be immediately, because the IT band running down the outside of the leg has a tendency to be very tight. So it's an interesting play of muscle tonality here. So the adductors, the inside of your legs, oftentimes get super tight from holding our knees together, right? That's when our core is on vacation, something has to take over. Oftentimes it's the adductors. And then that's when our low back begins to hurt because the muscles of the core are on vacation. So as you're ready, you can come a little bit deeper. And if you're ready, you can roll onto your side and take it all the way into a twist. But let it be very slow. This is a deep twist. And it's screaming at me today. And you don't necessarily have to touch the floor. You don't necessarily have to go all the way into a twist. It can be only about your leg. Breathing into it. Finding your edge, backing off of it. Just because you can go to the edge doesn't mean you need to stay there. And coming back out of it. Switching hands. Give a little counter pose, open up that hip. Remember that if you have hip replacement of any sort, you may not be able to do the deep, wide openings, and that's okay. Release that knee in. Let go of the strap, draw that knee in. Let's have 3 wind relieving poses. So if your left foot's on vacation, re-invite it back in. Engage it back in. Nicely done. Switch it out. Now, I feel a little cattywampus. I don't know that I am, but I feel it. So my proprioception is I need to flatten myself back on the floor, re-engage my core. My core would be that belly button to the floor, lifting up, sliding that tailbone down. Slight invitation in the pelvic floor. All right, lengthen through the heel. So notice how the left side's different from the right side. Just notice. Breathing into it. These static holds are, for whatever reason, really challenging me today. My mind is wanting to move. So I always know that when the mind is wanting to move, it's an important time to be still. So what does it feel like to breathe into your core? Breathe into that center. Allow the stillness to come from the center of the body, even though there's an awful lot going on around us. Today, where we are locally, the wind's blowing about a lot, 70 miles an hour. Interesting. Begin that journey across the body. Spin that knee open. Breathe into it. Finding that edge, making peace with your edge, making peace with wherever your stopping point is. Lengthen through that heel, open up that hamstring. Now a little bit deeper, If you want to roll into your hip, you can. The rolling onto the hip actually gives the body permission to begin to go into a twist. 3 more breaths. And releasing it out. Coming out, taking a hold with that other hand. If you have the space, counter pose it open. Oh, hello. Inside. Yes. Notice, where is that belly button? Is it soft or is it working? Such a powerful little belly button, isn't it? Coming back into center, releasing that out. Let's just do a couple ankle circles. So as this foot is in, circle that ankle, release it, circle it the other way. 3 wind relieving poses, so draw that knee in, release it out, draw it in, release it out. One more time, draw it in, release it out, and keep the knee bent. Bring the right knee up to meet it. Open the knees wide, coming back into supine child's pose. Let this be the space where you play with this. Feel your back flatten against the floor. You gotta walk, wiggle around a little bit, do that, and then see where you can get your knees into the armpits. Bless you. Move in some energy. So from what I hear, if you have this space in your body, taking a hold of the balls of your feet, opening up into dead bug, happy baby. Are you a dead bug today or are you a happy baby? And then see if you can switch your hands to the outsides of your feet and draw down. What's one layer of something you can let go of in those hips? Knowing that you're safe. Belly button down to the floor. Lifting up. Feel that slight slide in the tailbone. Gentle, gentle, gentle through the pelvic floor. There's a lot of strength and gentleness. Find your breath. And release those feet in. Release those knees in. Gentle rocking side to side. So from right here, nope, let's lengthen out through the legs. Point the fingers, point the toes. Stretch it out. Oh, that was good center work. Oh, stretch. And release. Let's roll to our sides. I won't make you rock and roll today. I was gonna, and it was my body was like, no, don't do that to them. And don't do that to you. Good morning. Open those legs wide. Nice and tall. Wiggle around. See where that spine is. See what's happening. Take a nice deep inhale up. Exhale, head for that toe. Open it wide. If you can't reach your toe, just do your very best. Grab your shin or your knee. Good job. Nice adjustments. So from right here, even though we're in a lateral movement, we're going to do a slight twist and we're going to spin that heart open. Turn your head to look behind your shoulder of that upper arm. Breathe into it. Nicely done. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling the other way. Again here, lengthen through that heel. Spin that knee open to the little toe. Then drop into that lateral movement. Yeah, nice. Very good. Nice adjustments. When you can feel it in your body, that body awareness is huge. Breathing into it. Now, turning, looking over that shoulder, slight twist. Where I really feel this is deep, deep, deep in my side body. Connect in with your breath. Even though things are raging outside of you, the calmness can come from the inside. Nicely done. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling those hands down to the floor. So as you pass through T position, let your palms face away from you. And then allow those hands to come down. So wherever your hands connect with the earth, let the palms go into the earth, okay? So that might, for some of you with long arms, that's gonna be out here. For some of us, it's gonna be in close. So the work here is in the arms and the core, okay? So we're still working through our heels. We're gonna, I always love this because I always feel like, oh, there are the girls. Let your chest go out. There they are. Open that heart. There they are. Open the heart. Draw your head back over your shoulders. Do the chicken. There you go. Good job. So draw it back. So if you've got this going on, bring it back. Yes, my neck popped doing that. All right, so from right here, we're nice and tall. We're grounded. Feel those sit bones anchoring in. Yeah. So grow long in your crown. Close your eyes. Belly button up. Back and up. Let your ear travel down to your shoulder on the right side. Now, where you're going to feel this is down the left side of your arm. And it might hurt. I don't like the word hurt. How about it might be unpleasant?
Going left?
Doesn't matter. It's just that the same ear goes to the same shoulder. So if you're tipping your head to the left, it's your left ear to your left shoulder. Now, anybody who can get their left ear to the right shoulder, I want a video of that because that would be powerfully flexible. We will call you an owl. We're still holding this and breathing. Feel the heat beginning to build. Now, the reason this is so important and so powerful, these muscles deep in our neck are called the scalenes. And the radial nerve, which goes down into our arms, are housed in the scalenes. And during this time where we have so much weighted on our shoulders and our shoulders live at our ears, it's important to open these muscles gently and often so that our hands are free to receive and give as they need to. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, other side. So, breathing into it. How's this stillness working for everybody today? The wind is howling outside. It's gusting to 75 miles an hour. That's, in Florida, if there's rain attached to it, that's considered a hurricane. But in Kansas, it's just a windy day. So it's a perfect example of how outside of us, it can be howling and it can be crazy. But when we come within, so we happen to be within my house right now, it's calm. It's grounded. It's present. It's the same within our body, within our mind. Things can be crazy outside of us. And if we choose to observe them versus engaging, then there's a stillness that happens within us. Be the calm within the chaos. Such a beautiful saying, and yet also a beautiful practice. Two more breaths, we're almost there. I can, just so you know, I can feel this all the way down my left arm. It's kind of tingling, which tells me that my scaling muscles are super tight. Inhaling, coming back up. Now, jut your chin out like you're a chicken, and then bring it back over your shoulders. Jut it out like a chicken, bring it back over your shoulders. Jut it out like a chicken, bring it out back over your shoulders. This is where the crown lifts up from, is back over your shoulders. Release those hands in, inhaling up, exhaling, diving forward. Yes. Now, if you have the space, you can soften into your elbows coming down. That is it's a stretch for me today, but soften down. Maybe it's your wrists, but let your hands land on the floor. Chicken out of it, bring that head back over your shoulders, and then lead with your heart. Check in with that belly button. Is it supporting you? Very nicely done. Walk them back. Release those legs. Bring them in. Give them some space. Where did this whole hour go, you guys? Gosh. Lots of holding will make time pass quickly. So here we are, just rocking them out. Shake them out. Okay, we need to do some back bends. So we're going to do bridge today. And when you do bridge today, because we all love bridge so much, not me, find a block. If you have a block or a book or a pillow, something that you can put the short way in between your knees, do that. And then roll back. So this engaging of the adductors to hold that block is really important. Walk those feet back, hands come down onto the floor. Now we're back to the beginning of where we started. So we've got a little different engagement with that block in between our knees. We're gonna exhale, belly button down to the floor, lifting it up, and then releasing it out. These are called pelvic tilts. And in physical therapy, this is the very first exercise they give you for low back pain. So should you ever be having low back pain, find your block, exhale, drop your belly button down to your spine, lift it up, tailbone slides down. Inhale, release it out. Take a big deep breath all the way to your pubic bone, exhale it out, do it again. We're gonna do 10 of these. So there's a rhythm to it. Let's see if we can find our rhythm. And I will see if I can talk through it. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Can you feel all those muscles around the center that we worked earlier? Yeah. And you can feel the waist muscles. So these are called the transverse muscles. They're drawing in also. So we're at 5, so we've got 5 more. Four more. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Now on this last one, I want you to hold it in and notice how your feet are anchoring to the mat. Just notice. Scoop those shoulder blades underneath you. And then with physics, begin to press through your feet and lift up. Engage your glutes, lift a little bit higher and come into bridge. Now from right here, if you want to clasp your hands underneath your body, You can do that. And remember, it's not about how high you go. It's about breathing through it, connecting into the body, and feeling the change begin to happen in your body. Lifting up, finding the back bend. What would it feel like if we brought our feet in a little more, right there. A little more supported, huh? Gentle, no higher, right there. Belly button down and up, and the physics is the opposite. So as the belly button goes down and up, the physics is what goes down has to come up. So you press down through the belly button, lift up through the core, pressing the feet down. It's a physics move. So nice deep breath in. Exhale, lift a little higher. It might be a thought process than an actual movement. So it might be a micromillimeter. Feel the strength building. So for those of you who have blocks between your knees, we're gonna hold this, but we're gonna take a minute to do meditation in motion, because we haven't done that in a while. So as you come out of this to move into meditation in motion, make sure and be mindful to remove that block out of the way. And so when your body says it's time, keep your eyes closed. Begin your journey of movement. What in your body is the body telling you? Not the mind. This is not about what your mind says. This is about what the body says to do. So there's no rhyme or reason. There's no right or wrong way. The most important thing is that you let the body lead the show versus the mind. Sometimes standing postures will come into this. That's okay. We didn't make it to our feet today, so it is possible that meditation in motion will invite that in. Breathing through it. Allowing it to be what it is. Eyes are closed. Doesn't matter what your neighbor's doing. Doesn't matter what I'm doing on the screen. It matters what's happening in your body. Movement with compassion and ease. And if it's not moving and you're still in bridge, then that is your meditation in motion. Following your breath. Staying with it. I'm going to go quiet. You continue on your journey. I'll let you know when it's finished. Those of you still in bridge, continue to stay and breathe. And when you feel the movement of unwinding happening, follow it. Still breathing, still following your own journey. Eyes are still closed. Allowing the experience to be your own. And let's have 3 more breaths in meditation in motion. If you're still in bridge, 3 more breaths. On the 3rd breath, begin to lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. And as you're coming to that final breath, feel yourself rolling onto your back, bringing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Give yourself a big hug. Thank you, body, for showing up and showing the way. And then release those feet to standing. And check in with your body. Open your hands to receiving. Drop your knees together and ask yourself, do I need another twist or am I good? Do I need a blanket or am I good? And as you begin to prepare for Shavasana, notice if this knees together is a comfortable place for you to completely let go. And if you have the space in your body to lengthen through the right leg and through the left leg, then do so. If you need a blanket, feel free to cover up. Feel yourself softening in, dropping the knees together so nothing has happened to work. As the wind circles around, blowing new thoughts, old thoughts, other thoughts, anchor in. Feel roots grow down, down, down. Stand strong as the 100-year-old tree, bending, swaying, moving, yet always solid, always stable. Rooted down, connected deep into the earth, deep into the soul. And gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Inviting movement back into your day. As you're ready, roll to your side. Pressing up, coming back to easy pose. We'll end with one Om today. So hands at your heart. Nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Deep breath into Om. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.